Besides this is obviously going to be good. If you want to know what really happened, you need to watch this. This is the only place you're going to get this type of interview or
I don't really know what this is, but I didn't do it. I'm innocent, Judge. I'm not guilty. I'm innocent.
We, the jury, being duly impaneled and sworn, find the defendant Matheau L. Moore not guilty of murder as he stands charged in count 1 of the indictment.
Hello, beautiful people. How are we? Matt, are you there?
I am here, sir.
Good man.
Can you hear me?
No screen of you today, but we hear
Yeah,
you.
I gotta.
That's good.
I'm gonna have to go no screen today because I'm on cellular.
Okay. So. Yeah, no, fine, mate. Did you see the intro there?
Yeah, awesome. I didn't catch what I was saying, but I caught Zach's part.
And hang on, let's do it again. I'm playing again just for you.
Very
hang on.
good work too, bro. Good work.
Hang on, let me play it.
Besides this is obviously going to be good. If you want to know what really happened, you need to watch this. This is the only place you're going to get this type of interview or
I don't really know what this is, but I didn't do it. I'm innocent, Judge. I'm not guilty. I'm innocent.
We, the jury, being duly impaneled and sworn, find the defendant Matheau L. Moore not guilty of murder as he stands charged in count 1 of the indictment.
Nice.
I wish I could take credit for me, but it's one of my mods. It's a girl called Mexi Texi. She created that. I asked her to do an intro for me, and we went back and forward, and inspo. And I say this, I'll never say this to you, maybe, but the reason that I got an outro as well, but I wanted I wanted an intro that represents what this channel is about. It's not about clicks. It's not about any of that rubbish or whatever. I mean, you can see so many streamers that put themselves up there in the sense of, they're the most important things. For me, I'm not the most important thing on this channel. The people are, yourself. I always write about how grateful I am for you to be on this channel and stuff.
Thanks, man.
I generally mean that. You're one of the big reasons why I love what I do, and I appreciate that.
Cool motivation. Right, when you're saying, is it other podcasts that review trials, or is it like?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's different. Everyone's different. I mean, I'm just spouting in general some of the bigger channels. I think sometimes they forget where they come from, and it's more about clicks for them rather than actually for me. As you know, as we've done this together, it's about getting you out there, getting your voice out there, your message out there, and stuff like that. That's more important than most things. I'm doing a trial currently, Kariga trial. It's a horrible if I had known what the trial was, it'd be difficult to do it. It's a trial that no one wants to touch because it's like 4 or 5 months trial that I stream every day, but I'm not allowed to keep on. So when you stream, where you get the most clicks and most viewers are from after the video's played, and I lose all of that. I don't have any of that because as soon as it finishes, I have to take it down, the video. So I lose out so much exposure. But a lot of people would have probably quit and just gone, fuck it, I'm just going to go for the exposure rather than the case. But it's one of those cases no one else is covering, so people want to see it, so I'll cover it.
Right.
It's not.
Now, what's the reason you have to take it down?
The court don't want the court wants so basically the court recorded it on Zoom, and it's a high profile case, and they basically are like, I'm entitled to record it, stream it, but they don't want, so they take theirs down straight away. I can leave mine up for a little bit, for a few hours, but then
It's
have
in
to
the
take it
UK.
down.
It's where you're
No,
at.
it's in the US. It's in the
Really?
US. It's in Washington. It's a quadruple homicide. Um, and it's to do with, because there's drug dealers involved, there's biker gangs involved, there's a lot of high profile dangerous people involved.
Right.
There's like 6 secretive witnesses that are coming on, so it's a really big trial, and 3 defendants are on trial at the same time. So I know that when I first started streaming, I left my first couple, I left up. I didn't know any different, and apparently the family and everybody complained about it, because it's not nice for them to see it, or whatever. So um, yeah, I had a decision to make then of whether I carry on or whether I quit in that instance. You know what I mean? But you know, I got a lot of
Yeah.
people and started watching, so I was like, well, you know, yeah, I'd love for more people, because I think it's a great trial. I think we would have had great exposure from it, but sometimes it's not about that. You know, sometimes you stunt your child's growth for,
Right.
for the great
Yeah.
good.
Absolutely.
You know, so
You're on the right side of things, man. Shit.
yeah, I think so. It doesn't seem like that way sometimes, mine, but it doesn't seem all the time it's like that. But that's why, anyway, that's why you're on there. That's why Zach's on there. It's what we believe in. It's a lot of what the people here in chat believe in as well. So, and I think, as I say, I think sometimes streamers forget where they come from, why they do it. And I'm aiming that at the bigger streamers, not like streamers like myself or anything like that. It's more the bigger ones that are out there for the clicks type of thing. So
Right.
anyway, who cares what I think? It doesn't matter. Oh, I see. Hang on. I'll go through chat now. I will go through chat, guys. I got someone here called Twiddlypip from the UK. So I was doing a stream just now as part of Fat Club, me trying to lose weight, and I'm streaming whilst I'm walking on the treadmill. And
Uh-huh.
she came in and asked me a question, and I think I answered it correctly, but I wanted you to answer because it's about you. So the question was, um, as a defendant, did you get reimbursed anything by the courts once you found not guilty?
Did I get what? Say that again.
Reimbursed anything? Absolutely anything? Did you get any?
Reimbursed? No.
Yeah, reimbursed. Yeah,
No.
no, yeah, that's what I said.
Absolutely not.
Which is, we were just
Nothing.
talking UK systems and stuff like that, and how different it is to the US. But yeah, that was fine.
I don't know how far you want me to go into that, but no, you don't get anything back. Absolutely
No,
not.
you got into it.
Your freedom.
Yeah,
sort
you
of.
got into it before. Yeah, no, you've lost everything. We know that. It was a good question because in the UK, you might get something back and stuff. So it was a good question, and I did answer by saying no, but the only way we 100% know is by asking Matt, and because you're here, we're asking you. So
And if you've been watching for the last it's been months now, right?
well, it's 14 weeks, I think now.
You're gonna know that it's more about money than anything else. It really is. I had an 8-day trial because I had 8 days worth of money. You know what I mean? There's just things if you watch these trials and watch the motivations of like law enforcement and DAs, judges, defense attorneys, it's more about money than it is about justice or guilt or innocence. Yeah. So and once you get that in your head and you watch these trials, you'll really start to see them for what they are.
Yeah, I think we covered a lot of it in the last few weeks as well, especially with Grubs on there. So
right, I try not to drown you with that type of, because it's paranoid thought. It's just a weird way of looking at things, but it's true. It's just unfortunate. It's really super unfortunate.
Yeah, but it's an interesting take as well because you've been through it. So I don't think it's paranoid. I think some people might presume you're being paranoid, but until you walk in those shoes, I mean, who we say you're paranoid? I mean, you've been there, done that. You got the t-shirt, but none of us have been there. So
you learn to read the angles. you're in situations. I see other trials now, like just parts of them, and
Mm-hmm.
I can just see it. I see it for what it is. Yeah, so it's more, and government, it's a little different, right? It's not exactly money, but it's still, there's a currency that they're going after,
Mm-hmm.
and it just doesn't have anything to do with your guilt. Even they don't even care if you're guilty or innocent. Just put a guy in there, It's just meat for the grinder, So.
Meat for the grinder.
And
That's true.
I mean, I do clips of our what you do, of yours, and it's fantastic. I think it's, if you're into law and you're into trying to figure out what's going on, I think it's what you're doing is, to have me on and analyze my trial the way we're analyzing it. It's really,
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like this before. I've never,
Uh,
I don't know. You'd have to tell me, but I don't think there's anything out there like this, like what we're doing.
no, there's not. There's not. There isn't anything like this out there. There will be in the future because people want to try and copy it, which is good. I mean, I hope people do this in the future, but
Right.
I know don't know anybody that's done this before. I'm just going to look up quickly here, Matt. Hang on.
Hmm.
So I found it quite interesting in the last few days, and I don't know what happened, but where is it gone? Yeah, over the last few days, I mean, we're talking here now, right? Like last week's video that we did,
Right.
we over the last few days, we've had hundreds of people come on to watch it.
Really.
Yeah, and I don't know why. The last week I just literally seen like 30, 40 people at a time watching. I mean, I
I
think there's like 700 people viewed it now.
Fantastic. Uh, I don't
Brilliant.
know how the algorithm works. I have no idea. Some of my videos get 300 views. Some of them get 10. So I have no idea. I have
Yeah.
absolutely no idea. Well, I hope
No, neither do I.
you've done something. I don't know. Maybe you hashtagged it right or something.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, no, I don't think I did, but maybe some of your videos are helping. Some of maybe Saul's. We did the Solma video. Maybe that helped. But I have no idea. No idea. Whatever it is, let's just carry on as we are. Do
Cool.
you know what I mean?
Right on, man.
Uh,
So
th- th-
you're getting a lot more views. I mean
that's
that's
probably double
fantastic.
what we normally get. Do you know what I mean?
Right
Double
on.
what we normally get. So we normally average about 400, 500, and it's over 700 now. And still
Wow.
going up. People still watching. I looked at it last night. At one point, there's 14 people watching, and it was like something
Right.
like midnight my time. Do you know what I mean? So,
Right.
uh,
Cool.
hey, carry on, everybody.
Carry
Right,
on.
let's go through some of the chat here, and then we start. Then Christine Fortunato from New York and
Hey,
half
Christine. I know
Italiano.
her. What's up, Christine?
Christine, Think Tank. Hello, Think Tank. Think Tank's another streamer here to say good morning, smash the thumb. So, Think Tank, I don't think, I believe that she knew your story at all. But she's, in the last few weeks, she's started to come into the stream. So to gauge what your story is about, which is really good. I like it when other streamers come in and question and all that. Because sometimes there's this habit of other streamers come in and watch and then instantly just want to poach you and instead of
Right.
come on the channel, know nothing about your case, don't care. I just want views. But if you're like Frankie, it'd be great if you do go on a channel, but at least she's taking time and effort to get to know about the case first. Do you know what I mean? So that she gets a broad overview of it and hopefully get you on her channel.
Sure.
That'd be good for an interview. Do you know what I mean? It's another set of audience for you as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, you need to try and set that up there, Frankie. Get him
Absolutely
on your
open to,
channel.
yes, anybody wants to talk about my case, has a podcast about whatever, sure. Yeah.
We
I'm
got
more than willing to come on.
Oh, you are, Moment. I know you are. You're always everywhere. So, hello, Lou. Think
Lou.
that's it. Jonathan, I predict Hardy and ready to butt party. Jesus Christ. I always need to look at what he says before I read it. Hey, Jonathan.
Oh, Jonathan, yeah, you gotta watch that guy.
You've got to watch what he says. Hey, Jonathan, Christine. Put you into the jar. Yeah, we will, Christine. Don't worry, we will. Nice intro, friend. Yeah, that's Mexi Texi. Mexi does your intros as well, I believe. So she's fantastic. Um, yeah, it's a great intro. Again, Mexi Texi takes all the credit. She took what I wanted and done it. So fair play to her. It is Mexi's work. Hey, Lou. Yes. Hey, Hen. So Hen's is another
And
interesting one. So,
what's
so
up?
Hen doesn't get much credit. She's another one I look at, and she's inspiring. She's running for local as a local councillor.
Yep.
One of those you don't get thanked for that kind of job and stuff like that. But she's very passionate um for the little things in life, and she does a lot of volunteering. She'll make sure over Christmas that people had food at the disposal over Christmas and stuff like that. It's people that do it, but do it quietly. Don't celebrate it. Don't post it all over Twitter and all that and whatever. She does it quietly. She told me about it one day. I just love it. She's actually been on TV recently. Been recorded. She's going to be, I think, is it local Fox or something like that. So I always like people like That's the kind of people I like as members in the chat. People that give back, not just people that take all the time, give back to society. So shout out to you, Hans. I wish more people were like you, and I include myself in that. So you go, girl. Um, it's typically here we go, John. Head for you all. Yeah, they took my money from our stream together. I'm not sure what that means. Don't know what that means, think tank, but Jurors, Mel is here. I told Mel, literally, Matt, what happened was Mel saw my tweet. I tweeted out last night, I said, got a fever, not going to do a stream. Um, Obviously slept 10 plus hours last night. Came back on today, messaged Matt saying, I'm a go if you're a go. And you hadn't come back to me for a few hours. And Mel said, I'm disappointed, but I'll see you next week. And I said, yeah, see you next week. And literally, as soon as I press send, you messaged me, Matt, to say,
Damn.
we're good, brother. Let's go. And I was like, oh, we're in. So Mel's here, which is good. She's here every single week. She loves it. Right, I'm gonna miss all of these. Yeah, so in the UK we get court costs. Yes, that's true. We got
Yeah.
baseball dad here from Indiana. Thank you, my friend. Nice to see you. I'd like to see you in here. I know you're a busy man, but thanks for popping in. You're always here for Matt's streams, which is good.
Hey.
And we got Erin Hack. She's here. Erin Hack is in the house. We're ready to go now. Erin Hack is here, so we can go. Right. Erin Hack gives me row that I talk too much. So I'm going to stop speaking and I'm going to put two things. Before we get going, I'm going to put something on screen, Matt, about
What?
you. Where's it gone? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, Erin Hack. I love Erin Hack. Right. And I know you don't mind this, so this
care.
is why.
Do
No, I
whatever.
know you don't. That's why I share it, in case people are here going, "Oh, why are you sharing this?" That's not nice.
Don't care.
Well, I mean, no, Matt doesn't care, so it's fine. Neither do I, so it's good. So this is a comment that's made about you. So do you see that?
Ooh, it's a big one. You're gonna have to read
Yeah,
that. I can't see it.
that's fine. Let me read it. I can read it on another page. So, this is a comment from last week's.
Oh.
No, not last week one. Is another one. Day one something weeks
Okay.
ago anyway. And basically, what a hypocrite man, Matt Crybaby, that he's a victim of being accused of things that there isn't any evidence. Well, direct evidence. There's plenty of circumstantial. After crying, he then goes and accuses the other one lady of being a drunk, and he even says, there isn't evidence. I just heard about it. Like, how ignorant can you be to act like that? Maybe he did do it, hey? I hope I'm wrong, but why is he? That's why I'm here watching. But if you want to watch this without a bias, he cannot be here. He just applauds his defense lawyers and has issues with the state with every single thing they do. Like he said, how one person said they saw someone who looked like her, and he's like, that's it, case closed. When even he admits
that's nonsense.
yeah, we'll get back to it, mate. We'll get back to
I'm
it.
sorry.
When even, yeah, no, that's fine. When even he admits he recanted his statement, and even if he didn't, that's one person, it's not convincing. If there's one person who saw her, it really doesn't help your case at all. He could be your friend, who knows? But if the police treated every case the way you're telling them to, and if you think everyone should get away with murder, if one witness says they say a person that looked like the victim is just crazy, I get that he got away with it, but his arguments or reasons for being upset are so ludicrous, like they would be letting criminals walk out the door. If everyone was Mark's way, if everything was Matt's way, then yes, the system isn't perfect. Sometimes you get bad detectives and people on a case and they ruin it and sometimes charge someone that could very well be innocent. Like I'm a supporter for Scott Peterson. If you look at his case, it's obvious the jury already knew the story because he was everywhere and everyone with without knowing anything labeled him as a monster. But if you actually look at his case, the state's case is so weak. If he went to trial today, they wouldn't even try the case because they know they would lose. The reason he got convicted was because the media. That's a great doc series about 8 cases the media influenced, and it's true. We love to think our jurors are impartial and fair, but that's not always the case because there's so much more evidence that the guys that were literally burglarizing the home across the street took her because she walked up on them when Scott came home. The dog was out and the door open. All right, I mean, he's going on about another case here, but so I definitely don't believe the
Okay,
state
that's
gets it
okay.
right every time. So
Right,
I messaged him back. I'm not going to be a dick to this person because we always welcome these things, right?
right.
And I did mention he never came back to me because Michael, if you have an open invite to come on the stream to discuss this with us, and Matt, if you like. Now, obviously, I get that doing that would be a lot, and in your situation, I wouldn't do so. I don't think. Perhaps, though, if you could list some questions for Matt, I could happily pose them to him. Nothing is off limits. Ask away. I appreciate comment, even if you decide not to either to do either of those things I suggest. Now, in those situations, Matt, you can respond now, right? But before you do, I like the fact that we can. Hi, Murph Sturf, by the way. I like the fact that we are a channel that invites people to say what they want to say, whether we agree with it or not. It's neither here nor there. I'm not going to bounce on people and negate them from discussing. This person can have their say, but he says a match shouldn't be here. I totally disagree. Matt should have his say as well about explain how these things work. And this is a platform. This guy can come on the channel if he wants to, but I understand he's never going to.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you know, you can say think whatever you want of him, but I still like the fact that he's written something, even though I don't agree with the majority of things he's saying there. Um, but still, hey, we're all about free speech and about getting stuff out there because it also opens the door for now for you to correct him, and
Right.
that's why I like it.
That's
So
a,
go ahead.
because my no one heard my story before this. Trust me, trust that. So I mean, it's, their story's got a lot of different disinformation in it. The Scott Peterson deal.
Yeah.
Um, I like that she thinks that he's innocent. I don't know really too much about his case other than they um they exposed them for having an affair, right?
Mhm.
And I think that's a big part. I've yet to see a true crime story of a guy that was accused of killing his wife who was having an affair and got found not guilty. It's just something about that part of, if you're gonna lie to your wife, you're gonna lie to everybody else. It's a bad deal. So yeah, I mean, Scott Peterson got um put in jail for killing his wife, right, in California, I think.
I don't know the case. I don't know it, so I can't
Okay,
comment.
yeah,
To be
it
honest.
was a while ago. But for that person to say that, well, that's good that at least they're not all about the cops. I mean, what she said about me and the person seeing, she's talking about John Kramer across the street. So her story just doesn't make sense. I don't even know what her beef is. I can't tell.
It was
John Kramer
anonymous.
saw Emily on Monday,
Yeah.
which would have been the 25th, if you know my case. I'm not going to go all through it. John Kramer
No.
saw her on the 25th, and then he came back at some point. I'm going to say it was after Tuesday, because Tuesday they released a press release saying that the last time Emily was seen was on Monday between 9 and 10 out in front of the condo walking away. He says he testified at court that at trial that he told them that day Monday, but that doesn't make any sense because if he recanted on Monday, they wouldn't have put out the press release on Tuesday. But well, anyway, at some point he came back and said, "Hey, listen, it might have been the day before because I see Emily all the time, but the day before we were in Bushville, Ohio, between 9 and 10. So we weren't even there. So it had to have been Monday." I think everybody knows that now. It's his testimony was, whatever. So I mean that for that person to say that, I mean, as soon as I start reading things like that, I just, I mean, you're not informed. She does that. Whoever that person hasn't been paying attention, because that's been addressed a long, long time ago. So
I'm also hoping though that was one of the early ones. So I'm hoping they wrote that and then started watching some of the other streams and going, "Oh shit, actually he's covered it here now. I should have maybe
yeah,
written that."
I'm doing my best to cover all the major questions about the trial, and I think we're doing pretty good. So when I'm sitting there watching the trial, as these points come up, yeah, I got to be like, "Hey, this is wrong, and this is my take," because there was no my side of the story in the media.
No.
I mean, I was guilty, dude, in the media. I was
Yeah.
right up into the trial. I was because of the media, because of the story that was being told. I'd murdered my children, right? I was a serial
Yeah.
killer to some people. So, and there's still people out there. Oh, hey, your kids, and well, yeah. Well, why am I free then? I mean, where's the investigation? There is no investigation. There was no charges or investigation about my children. People just took that. That's that. I always like to stick her name in there. Her name is Amanda Coleman, and she's a producer for the Vanish podcast. And if you watch the Vanish podcast, they lie to you to get you to click, to get you to watch their show. They said I failed a lie detector test. They said they called Westerville Police Department, and they said that the Westerville Police Department said there was an open investigation for my son Joey and his suicide, which is just not true. And neither is the lie detector test. You think you're going to call a police department up and ask, and they're going to tell you whether I failed a lie detector test or not during the open
No.
investigation? Well, maybe they did. I don't know. Westerville's pretty
It, it pisses me off though, man, because this is what I was saying earlier on. People are thick as shit because people. I should say that because people will listen to those people and go, "Well, Varnish said this. The
right.
Varnish podcast said this. It's true, man." They do it for
Right.
clicks. They know what they're doing. I hate that kind of
They're
people say
bad
to
journalism, man. It's bad journalism.
yeah,
They
but
straight up lie to you to get you to listen to them. Absolutely.
it
They
works
don't
though.
care.
It's what people want. It's fucking
Yes.
horrible. It's horrible. I hate it.
Have
Um,
you ever get a chance to listen, go back and listen to them? They're still on. There's a 3-part series. You wouldn't believe it. I mean, they actually made me out to be a serial killer. That's what their whole objective was to sensationalize my story to the point to where people think I was a serial killer. So it's
mhm.
and not based on no truth. And then when
Yeah.
I got found not guilty, they just went on to the next story. They don't care. And their listeners are those type of people that want to hear that type of shit. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's sad, man. It's only sad because they're probably decent people. In not Varnish now. I mean, people listen, probably decent people every day. Like, you start somewhere. You expect when you listen to people in the media streams, you expect them to be telling you the truth. Why should you not think they're telling you the truth? Because you trust the fact that they wouldn't send out misinformation out there. So that's why I'm a bit harsh on me saying that the viewers are to blame because actually they just listen to a podcast like they expect people to tell the truth. But unfortunately, that's not always the case. Like the Vanished podcast.
Really quick. I'll just tell you, just because you need to be informed. If your spouse ever goes missing, learn from what I did. I got a text message for someone. It was during when we were looking for Emily. I was looking for her. It was just, I don't know, a couple weeks in, and I got a text from somebody saying that there's a podcast where they actually look for people. It's called the Vanish Podcast, and that's their thing. They look for missing people. I was like, oh, great, So I call them up. I talked to her on the phone and got interviewed, thinking that it was that their listeners actually put their boots on and go out and actually look for missing people. But it was a true crime podcast. So it was just I don't. So when your lawyer tells you don't talk to the media, just don't talk to the media, especially any kind of true crime. I mean, I'm embarrassed. But I didn't even know the genre existed. I had no idea that there was even people out there doing that. I never watched Dateline. I had no idea. So I literally went on there thinking that they were going to help me search for Emily, but it turned into, no, hey, we've got this interview from the serial killer. Look what he says here, which is weird. It's like, what do you mean weird? I mean, he's looking for his wife. What did I say that during that interview that was weird? Listen to it. Nothing. I didn't say anything weird at all. So it was just it's not the greatest place to go to get any kind of truth, especially that's such a serious situation. Someone's missing and they use it for entertainment. It's not like they didn't try to look for Emily at all. They didn't try to solve anything. They didn't try to help. All they did was take my family's misery and twist it up and make it into a story. I wanted to ask you this too before, Dylan. Have you ever thought about making like our episodes, documentaries type thing? I think that would be something you'd be good at.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. People have said that to me before. It's for me. It's about not what do you say, walking before you run, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
Because this is why I'm trying to do this. Like like I'm similar to you. I'm not tech savvy at the minute. I'm trying to get like even that. Like Thursday, you should see me. I broke two mics, broke two monitors, whatever. A disaster. I stream without any fucking mic working. So no, I definitely want to do. I've done a couple small ones, but it's definitely something I want to do more of. But it's just getting into it, and doing it.
There's plenty of pro establishment, pro cop Datelines, all of it. I mean, there's where were all the people that are defending the husbands? You never see it. I think it's non-existent. Yeah.
Yeah. It is hard. I mean, I think people like you see a lot of this really good what do you call it people out there. Well, some really good YouTubers out there, not documentary wise, but they do like an hour, 2 hour cases on different
Right.
cases.
Okay.
It's just so there's some people that do that, but it's not like I wouldn't say documentary per se, because documentaries are obviously quite hard to do because you need loads of resources, access to people. Dr. Hines actually made a documentary of sorts about the Johnny Depp stuff, but the cost and the work that went into it, you just like
production.
it's but also he needed access. Like thankfully, he had access to a lot of high profile people. That fell into his lap in a way. So, which is great. But like you said, you wouldn't want to do another one. So I'm not sure if I would ever do documentary, but I would definitely want to do more. Uh, like people in the chat will know that chapter. The guy who, like for instance, if he was, I'm not sure if he did one on you. He would be quite fair. He would. I'm not sure if he would be fair on you, but example would be get your case and explain it from a point of view. For me, I would explain it from the point of view of the defendant and give all facts, state it, and at the end, you let the audience decide which way they lean. But and you want to give the verdict and everything. So you were actually in the ideal case. A lot of people though they do something similar, but they always take it from the
They always take the cop side. Yeah, they always do. There's probably like 15 well produced hour programs on my case, and there's like one that's decent. It's called Invisible Choir, and there's one other one too, but it was after my trial. Anything that was done before my trial, oof, I'm telling you, bro, it was bad. They didn't give me it. It was really bad. There's that innocence before guilty thing is they don't care about any of that.
The what I would answer to you there, the difficulty is right to do anything before trial is the only information you get is from the
It's from the
cops.
cops. Yeah.
You
And
don't, so
it's
unless you have access to the defendant, which you wouldn't,
right.
99% of the time, you don't have any access to any defendants because lawyers tell you to shut up. So to do sort of
Right.
like a documentary on that, it's impossible because
It's impossible.
you only get. That's why I don't agree with documents beforehand, because
Right.
you should wait till the case is there and you witness everything. Then you can do a sort of not documentary, but a series of
Vanish podcast did 3 hour long parts before my trial. They had like
yeah.
people that I didn't know on, a friend of my son's, that just, it was just some kid that they didn't do any like research to make sure that any of the people they were talking to were like were valid in any way, shape, or form. They just found people that would speak horribly of me and put them on there.
Mhm.
And it was just, they
Yeah.
don't care. They don't care. Those people don't care about journalism or the truth. They're just trying to get you to. She's making money. They've monetized their little program there. They're not. They're not huge or anything, but they're making money. So
Yeah.
once they start making money, and that's all about clicks. That's all that matters. Just whatever. Just get clicks.
I'm doing a stream later today, 3 o'clock Eastern, about Brian Kohlberger and social media, um, and how ridiculous it all is.
Mm.
Just to see social media's reaction to anything Brian Kohlberger. How does
So
that guy even? He's not even get any chance of a fair trial. Do you know what I mean?
uh,
So,
it's it's
so
it's
I'm
and it's coordinated by law enforcement. They
yeah.
they coordinate that harassment. They coordinate all that with the media. It's all part of it.
Yeah. And need to make more stuff like that. I'm definitely going to be changing my channel a little bit. I think trials are so time consuming for me, but I want to do more deep dives because I don't think there's enough deep dives out there for people like yourself and stuff. The defendant side of it. It's
Well,
not sexy. It's not what people want, but I think it's important. You know what I mean? So,
I
but that's
think that you doing this trial, you reviewing my trial, is going to put you above everybody else. Just spending the
no,
amount of time you spent with me on my trial, because literally it's a caricature of real life, because it was so awful, right? So everything's just like exaggerated. Everything's my attorney was so good, and the prosecution was so bad. You know what I mean? And the cops were blundering, and it was just, so other trials is probably harder to detect that type of thing, but now
yeah,
you've seen it, it's so obvious. So now you see other trials and you're like, oh, I remember, yeah, I know what they're doing, I know what the cops are doing there, or I know what defense attorneys are doing there, or
yeah,
experts. You know how experts work now. It's all part of the, I mean everybody wants to believe the police, everybody wants to believe experts, don't you? I
yeah.
did. You believe doctors? You're kidding me. You're going to find a doctor that for money is going to go up there and lie about somebody? Yeah, they do.
Mhm.
Absolutely. It's just
You
crazy,
see
right?
it. It's unbelievable. You see it, and you'd never think it would be the case, but it
Oh,
happens.
until you go through it, you just know the dude's paranoid. He's just saying that, just like that person that wrote that letter. She does. I'm not saying she, because I'm just. It just sounds like it's probably a girl. I don't know if it is or not,
Yeah,
but female. But
I think it's a
it's
guy,
just
but I think it's
whatever.
a
I
guy.
don't. Is it a dude? All right. Well,
Yeah, I think so.
that shows what I know. But they don't know. They haven't put the time in. You have to put the time in. You have to either that or read my book. Or you can't just go by what you hear in the media. You won't get the story right. It'll just
No,
because they put garbage. It's garbage. It's literal garbage. It's not even news. It's propaganda.
yeah.
So
And you say, hang on, you say something. Hang on, got it here.
don't worry about my book. If you're gonna lose, don't worry
Oh
about it.
shit, I
Oh,
got it.
hey, there it is. Look at it.
So,
Woo!
so I got it. So I'm having to clear out my house and redoing some bits and pieces, and the book's there. So I'm like, right,
The
I got it
soft
here now.
cover is a little pricey, but you can get the ebook for $10, $9.99, and you can get it. You can download the ebook, and it's literally 180 pages. It's a quick read. I didn't like inundate you with a bunch of crap about the trial, because the trial you could write volumes on the trial, right? I just wrote a quick story and told you exactly what happened. So if you really want to know, there it is.
That's good. I need to finish reading it. Right, there's lots of comments here. Do we get to see Matt's man today? No, you don't. You get to see my beautiful face instead, though, Erin. because Matt's on cellular.
That's me right there as a little kid over there. I'm on the right.
Yeah. What? Right, as in.
I'm
Hang
the
on.
smaller one. I'm with the blue jacket, and my
Is that
brother's
Paul?
got the brown. No, it's another brother of mine. No, that's not Paul. I didn't know Paul back then, actually.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know you had a
These are the
brother.
days of our lives. My dad got around a little bit, so.
Yes, but yeah, no, best time of your life, isn't it? Mm. Okay, right. There's a couple of questions I got here. We're not going to
Sure.
watch any fucking video here, but they are questions, and I think it's important. Sorry, everyone. I know Mel asked a question. Do you think I can fucking find it? Oh, hang on. Oh, here we go. You've answered this before, but that was quite a few months ago, so it's good to answer again for Matthew. With your trial on the law and cucks, law and crime, and you being on here in your everyday life, real life, can you get around publicly? Okay,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah,
No problem.
that's that's fine. There's another one here. What the fuck's a question marks for? I don't understand. Guy, you don't have to put question marks. I get lost with these question marks. They dazzle me. What does Matt think about how Tyrone Tucker presented his pro se case?
Yeah, I don't know who Tyron Tucker is.
Nah, neither do I.
Sorry.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who that is either. Um, we got Aaron Hack on about Rittenhouse by his book. It's a really good book. Apparently, Carl Rittenhouse's book is good. So after you've read Matt's, go and buy Rittenhouse's one. Um, we got another case coming up about Carl Reed. There's a lot of stuff going on there, which I'll be covering separately. We got Zach around and said, yeah, some interviews about Zach's interview. So it's interesting. There's an interview out there that Zach made when he got arrested, sorry, when he was brought in to be questioned.
Right.
I've only watched half of it, but it's out there. I watched it with Legal Vices, but I've only managed to watch half of it so far. But I believe Nicholas Storrow, he's also covering it. So they're two really good streamers to watch it with. If you haven't seen it,
Would you've seen half of it? You said.
I've seen half of it. I've not seen the other. So because another stream coming on, so I couldn't watch it all. But it was interesting. It was you could see when Zach's been interviewed, right, interrogated. Then you could tell he's innocent because the way he's just speaking, he's just like, "Oh
Yes.
fuck this,
He's
fuck it."
cooperating.
Just yeah, and it's just so natural. And the guy had two names, and Zach thought it was two different people. Like he just didn't have a clue what they were on about. He didn't
Right.
even know. He thought he was there for stalking. Had no clue
Right.
that he was there for murder.
Right.
He was so natural. He was so helpful. He's like, yeah, can I get my phone?
Right.
You can see from my phone. You could get
Sure.
X, Y, and Z from my phone. He didn't care. He was just like, yeah. And they were like, oh, would your brother corroborate that you were here this time? He's like, yeah. So if I phone your brother now, he would. He goes, well, don't phone my brother now. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, but phone him tomorrow and you can. Yeah, he'll say where I was at this time and stuff like that. It just he was so natural. It was just painstaking to watch him go through it.
Yeah.
Emma.
It's you're in it. He wasn't really in a spot because I mean he was just his new boyfriend, right? Who he was there going kind of through a custody case, right? And all of a sudden the guy is dead or he's missing, right? And he I mean he acted like a normal person. he acted like someone that trusts authority. You know, of course. Yeah, you want to talk to me? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'll let you help you out with it, whatever you want me, whatever you need. And it's just you gotta learn, people out there. You have to learn that when they say you can't talk to police because it'll make you look guilty, and they'll use it against you. Look, he's not speaking to us. You know, so that's why we're investigating. They know that's just a PR move. Don't talk to police. Or when you do get a lawyer, just get a lawyer if you can afford one. And the lawyer can talk to the police for you. It's so important because if you're talking to the police, they're putting a case on you, period. If you're talking to a cop, they're trying to figure out a way to put a case on you. It might not happen. and there might be someone else that'll be easier to do, like around the corner, so they'll forget about you. But if you're talking to a cop, that's what that cop's doing. He's trying to figure out whether he can put a case on you or not. So you gotta watch it. I get a lot of flack for talking to the police. My wife was missing, and I needed help to find her. So of course I was going to talk to him. So I was talking.
Anyone says, you would. Why wouldn't you? You would 100% do it. And same way Zach's doing it. What if you got hide? Right. You go into,
Well, in Zach's case, I think because he had a custody battle going on, he might have been, and he didn't know the guy, so what does he care? So I mean, he should have been. I think he should have been a little bit more careful. But he's probably just the type of guy that like totally is police supporter at the time, and just said, yeah, of course I'll speak to you, because he didn't have anything to hide.
If you got nothing to hide, why wouldn't you be cooperating doing that? That's how people think, And
right. But trust me, the
best
thing to do is don't say a fucking word to anyone, to anyone. If you ever find yourself in Zach's position or my position, it's going to make you look bad. But trust me, you're going to be better off. Doesn't mean you're not going to get charged. Doesn't mean they're still not going to fuck with you. But you're going to be better off. Way better off.
When you look at Datelines and whatever else, and you see people that actually don't speak to the police, instantly the detectives like, well, they're on our radar because they didn't want to speak to us, so that was suspicious. Why wouldn't you want to speak to us?
And they use that as an excuse. It's just an excuse, but it's not. They're not looking at you. They'll look at you as someone that's smart. They're going to be like, yeah, he's smart. He's not talking to us. It's a smart thing, but because they're not looking for the truth. They're just looking to put a case on someone. And if you're talking, then you're the man. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, come on in.
No, I got
talk to us for a couple hours. Yeah, perfect. I if you look at my case, I probably would have been arrested anyway if I clammed up or not. Because they were just so zeroed in on me. But it didn't help. It didn't help to go in and talk to them. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. It is what it is, but you're right. You would have, but that still doesn't make it right. Do you know what I mean? You as you say, it probably wouldn't have made a difference there, but your case is a little bit different. I mean, it is your wife at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? So
imagine if I always put it this way. Imagine if your kid goes missing. Are you not going to talk to police?
Oh, man.
I'm telling you, don't. How hard is that going to be? No. You just get a lawyer, or get your father, or your brother, or someone else to talk for you. You need a conduit. You need a liaison. You need someone there, and they're gonna know. We need to talk to you directly. No, I'm not talking to you. If you have any questions, talk to my father, someone you trust. But obviously, get a lawyer if you can get one.
Yeah, get a lawyer. It's much better for you. Okay, so there's a couple more comments before we start. A lot of good trials going on right now. 100% there are. We just can't cover them all. Do you know what I mean? I'm definitely going to be going more into Karen Reid as well, but I'm trying to limit what I do. But Karen Reid's definitely up there. She's due in court 12th of March on trial, but they're quite confident that's going to be pushed on from that. It won't be in March. So yes, Sadie's got an interview. Yes. Lou's probably going to do a deep dive on that, so we'll watch that when Lou does that. Emma, lovely to see you back. Nice to see you. Yeah, thank you for that. Lovely to see you, Em. Here she comes. Day 4, coming to stream near you. Matheau Moore verdict 2025. The Alter Little Corner. Dylan, you're welcome for the advertisement. Look, I appreciate you, right? I do get it. I get it. But I think it's unique, right? People don't like this, right? But I have an opportunity, and I'm not picking on Erin, but I will pick on Erin, to speak to Matt. And we've done it now for about 45 minutes, 50 minutes now. I feel, as I always say, blessed that we can ask him questions and not even watch the trial. Now, I know people are here to watch the trial, 100% get that. But when things come up and you guys want to ask questions, I like to ask them questions. I like to see you interacting. So my priority always is going to be the chat and asking my questions, no matter what. So this probably will go on to 2025, if I'm being honest. But Erin, I also know you will be here with us in 2025. So right, I think we will start.
It is different. I've watched a little bit of other people's, and I'm doing it right now. Of they just want to watch the trial. I get that because it's like they're interesting. They're super interesting. They're also super
Yeah,
boring at times. You know what I'm saying? But if you
yeah,
want to know, like, there's no way you could know what I knew or my lawyer knew or the cops knew, but by just watching my trial. You need things explained to you. There's no way you're gonna know. With me there, you got me to explain it. I'll tell you exactly what's going
hmm
on. And
yeah.
there's so I mean we do talk a lot and we don't go very far in before we're stopping and explaining things. But I would love if I'm watching a trial and there's a guy there that knows the ins and outs of everything, they explain things to me for sure. I mean, that'd be awesome. I mean, that's what you want. I mean, wouldn't you? I mean, I don't know, but
Uh,
I see the thing where you kind of like a trial kind of gets you keeps you going out. I watched a little bit of Mighty Meat. Mighty Meat's the one about this. They're charging two
Crumbly.
parents.
Yeah, the
That
crumbly one. Yeah.
yeah whatever. I mean, I got caught up in it. There I was watching it, and I'm like, why am I watching this? It was like horrifying for me because I knew what was going on. They're totally screwing that woman, right? I'm just like, oh my god, that's horrible. She's been in jail for like
Yeah.
2 years, I think. Oh, it's just
I've not
horrible.
seen it, so I don't know anything
They're
about it. I've not seen it yet, so
they're they're
I've got
they're,
my
they're, they've charged the parents with manslaughter, and their kid went into a school and shot up the school,
yeah Ethan.
which is horrifying.
Yeah,
So
Ethan.
now they're gonna start keeping parents responsible, making parents responsible for that type of thing. But I mean, they're not doing it it's a show trial. It's like politics. That what they did, they didn't do anything illegal, and they're literally being charged with manslaughter. It's like, holy shit. And she looks awful. She's been in jail for 3 years, and her life, she lost her house, her
She
horse farm.
has,
Well,
yeah.
so it's and I get it. So the next thing I know, and there was no interruption. It was just going and going and going, and I get that part of it. But
She's she
you're
was
not going to
in
get that with
because
us.
she no
What's
she
that?
no she I know what you mean. She's in jail. She helped out this 18-year-old that was in jail for allegedly. I think she was found guilty for murdering her father, chucking chemicals over him or something, and she got a
Mhm.
year in prison or time served. But she spoke about the crumbly mother who's on in trial now about
Right,
how she helped her through prison, through jail and stuff.
right.
Like she was
Helping
like
her out.
a mother to her through
Right.
trial, through jail. So she speaks very highly of her when she came out.
She's just a
Um,
sweet lady, just some poor lady that made a bad call. And I don't know the ins and outs of it. And I'm sure that the parents of the kids that got killed want some sort of, what are you doing? How could you
yeah,
let your kid do this? But you can't. You can't. I mean, there has to be gross negligence. She didn't like give the kid a gun and a bullet. You know what I mean? It's just, and I can
yeah,
see the cops. And it's all show. She's already been. There's been a couple trials. She's been acquitted, or she's been whatever. It's been appealed, and this woman's just being dragged through the system, and it's just horrifying because you just see the look on the cop's face. You're just horrible. They don't care. Cops don't care about
you
truth,
know,
justice. That's not why they're putting that lady through that. Is to get justice for those kids. That's not why those cops are doing it.
no.
So it's tough for me to watch.
We,
Well, I get where people are coming, and here I am
yeah,
talking
I
through it.
get
So
it.
let's watch the trial because
We
this
will.
Grubs. This is my favorite part of the trial. I mean, this
There's not
buffoon
much left of
cop.
Grubs. There's not much left of Grubs today, so I think we'll
Uh,
finish with him today. I don't think there's much. Anyway, before we do get started, I love Matt's point of view. Would it be a chat if I didn't give you a hard time, Dylan? With my stream, I don't have a ton of material. Yeah, it's a great way to do it. Sandra, hello. I thought today was cancelled. It was. I had a fever yesterday. I had about 10 hours plus sleep, and we're back on it. Um, so yes, right. Let's get started then. Um, to, 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 to,
Grubs.
um,
They gave an
right.
award, Cop of the Year.
Shut up. Did they?
It,
I
it,
didn't know that.
it's probably in his cubicle on his desk.
Oh, bloody hell. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it
Did
was.
not know that.
Yeah, it was during my investigation. They made him Cop of the Year.
Oh, fucking hell. I mean, that robs her in as well, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Shitting hell. Cop of the year. Okay. But whatever. Right, let's get into that. Let's go, people. Let's go. You're here for this main man. So everyone that can't see Matt's face, this is his beautiful face
There it is.
on
Got the
screen
green
anyway.
shirt on
There
today.
he is.
Nice.
He's shaven. Look at him. He's shaven. He's got a
Sorta.
bald guy behind him. Compared to what you are now, you're shaven. I mean,
See that guy in the back? I thought he was from the mafia. I thought he was going to whack me after the trial. The guy with his hands over his head like that. He was there every day. I have no idea who that guy was.
just enjoying it. You're probably retired and just wanted to watch a trial.
Hanging out.
I mean,
He's like the only guy on my side of the trial. On the other side of the court, on at least the prosecution side, there was people there every day. It was packed. And no one wanted to sit on my side. My side was always empty.
well, he sat on the right side, so it's fine.
Yeah,
Right,
he was a gangster. That guy didn't care. He was just
He's
like,
a gangster, yeah. Right.
Whoever that guy is, thank you for sitting back there. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I hope he's watching the streams.
Yeah.
Right.
Crubs.
It is the volume up and stuff.
Yeah, he's scratching his head. That he's blind. It's that body
No,
language.
sir. Can you explain that to the jury, please?
What? Sleeper?
Part of what we do during a search warrant is obviously visual. I can't even talk anymore. Visual examination.
You never could talk, Grubs. You never could.
Items such as that, just to see if they have collected blood, anything like that of that relevance.
Blood.
Detective Leckie also used a luminol type product just to verify that there wasn't any unseen blood that used to have been there on that item at one point that can no longer
No, he's not
be
stupid.
seen by the naked human eye.
Based on the search that occurred of the condo, was there any reason for your investigation, to send those items away for testing?
No, sir.
Were other items from the house checked for stains, specifically in the bedroom?
Yes, sir.
And do you recall anything about what was found in there?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah, to
Were
think
there
about that.
sheets collected from the bed?
There were.
And were those sent away for testing?
Yes, they were.
And why was that so?
Just to see if there's any blood or any other items like that on.
And was there any blood found in those items?
No, there was not.
But those sheets that were collected were sent away for testing.
Yes.
You were asked lots of questions about John Kramer. Do you recall those?
Yes, sir.
And you were asked with regard to what specifically Mr. Kramer had told you.
That's correct.
Did Mr. Kramer tell you about observing the defendant smoking in the condo?
Yes, he did.
Did Mr. Kramer tell you about overhearing an argument?
Yes, he did.
Did Mr. Kramer tell you about seeing Emily on the night of May 24th?
Yes, he did.
And did he tell you that was the last time he was sure that he'd seen her?
That's correct.
That's not
Did he
true.
tell you at that time that she was going for a walk?
That's correct.
Did he tell you that he was not sure that he had seen her the morning of May 25th?
Also statement. Go ahead.
Tiff, I want to talk a little bit about
That worked.
items that were recovered from the scene. You were asked a question about an e-cigarette.
That's correct.
Yes, and that was, why don't you tell the jury what you know about any e-cigarette or cigarettes that were collected as part of this investigation?
We collected 2 of them from the scene where her body was located.
I'm sorry, what was that again, sir?
We collected 2 of those e-cigarettes from the scene where her body was located.
You were asked specifically about one that was in her pocket,
Yes.
and do you recall when that was collected?
It was collected when she was taken to Montgomery County coroners for the autopsy.
So one e-cigarette in her pocket of her clothing.
Correct.
Was there another e-cigarette that was located? located?
There was.
And where was that, sir?
It was away from her body on right near a log, close to her left knee, essentially for placement purposes.
So near to
What?
the remains?
Yes.
Placement purposes.
Would
What's
that
that mean?
item have been
The hell
collected
did you say?
by
Placement
BCI when they were
purposes.
processing the scene?
Sound that, mate.
What the fuck he just said? He just said there was an e-cigarette by a log for placement purposes.
Yeah.
What does that mean, Grubs? Does that mean you put it there or something? I mean, what do you mean placement purposes? He misspoke. It makes him sound like he might have set up the scene.
So yeah, because that's what I was going to say. So is he accusing you then of planting it there or something?
I guess. I don't know. It sounds like he's admitting something, doesn't it? The thing that's weird about it is people got to know that this dude served me a warrant. Well, it wasn't even 48 hours. They didn't know anything about Emily. He'd only known about Emily for 24 hours because he didn't know about Emily on Monday. It was Tuesday when he got the case. Tuesday, the next day, Wednesday, he had a search warrant, and they're looking for blood. They're looking for murder. They knew nothing about Emily. She could have been anywhere. She could have just left. I don't know what the percentage is, but when someone goes missing, there's a very large percentage of them that just come back, that just take off, to come back. There's also the percentage of suicides compared to murders. There's way more suicides than there are murders. But these dudes, this guy, boom, murder with no evidence. He's telling you right now, there was no blood anywhere. We didn't find anything. This was right there. He's talking about Wednesday, and it was. I think he's describing what it was before my interview. Even at my interview, there I mentioned her in the past tense twice, and I said I didn't do it when I first got there. I didn't do it, and I guess they took that out of context. Literally, there's no reason for them to be looking for murder so quickly because they didn't know. She could have just had a boyfriend, or you could think of a million different things that where she could have been. But they just, why you tell me, why did these guys think murder so quick with no evidence? I'm telling you, it's because that's what they wanted it to be. And now he's telling you, we had an e-cigarette by a log that was there for placement purposes. I would say that he's talking about himself more than he is me.
But why is it only now that he's bringing it up on?
They're trying to make they're trying to show that Emily would never allow smoking in the condo.
Yeah,
because she smokes. It's like, thank you,
yeah.
thank you, Grubs, for testifying for me. They're literal, they're dummies. Dylan. I'm telling you, I looked at my lawyer, and I'm like, why are they doing that? Why would they bring up an e-cigarette when they're trying to make out that Matt was smoking in the condo, and that could never happen? She never would have allowed that, right? Apparently, she was a smoker, dude. It's literally this dude's testifying for me. It's just this. And I would ask my lawyer, why are they doing that? And she would say, because they don't know what they're doing, because they're not smart, man. And I'm just like, I couldn't believe it.
If I was a juror now, taking aside everything you've just said, if I was a juror now, I would be confused because where's this information been?
Right.
If you actually placed and manipulated the stage of it, like they said that you manipulated the garage with a rope and the cables and stuff.
Right.
Why are we only hearing about you manipulating the scene of the e-cigarette on redirect? When
he's not even really telling you that that's what it was. They never bring up why. I understand what you're saying. You think he's saying that because he's trying to say, hey, Matt put it there for effect or whatever, right?
Well, I'm thinking that he said it, saying that now because he knows he's fucked his cross with Diane,
right.
And they're now going, shit, they might not believe all of us now. We're gonna have to put something else in. So I just think he's been caught in a lie now. But my point is, he should have said all this during his first direct,
absolutely,
and not on the redirect and start
not
sneak
it in some clever way, blah blah blah. Yeah. It's because they're you're right, they're fucked and they don't know what they're doing. They know they're screwed. They know that this is the second time he's being. This is the second time he's being whatever they're doing now by a sleeper, right?
Yeah.
This is the second one. This is not Diane's Cross. So whatever they do first.
Redirect. Sorry, redirect.
That's right, redirect. So this is a redirect. They know they're screwed, man. I mean, so he's probably said that. You're right. He's trying to say that just to be clever, but he's not clever.
No,
I mean, he's literally testifying that Emily was a smoker. They made such a big deal out of me smoking in the condo, which I was not. They didn't prove that I was. John Kramer, because John Kramer said I was smoking on that Monday. Therefore, I was smoking. Did anybody else see me smoking? There was cops all over the place. There was family all over the place. Did anyone else see me smoking? That would have been a big deal if I was smoking in the condo on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been huge. And they would have had 20 people that would have lined right up and said, yeah, he was blazing up right at the condo on Monday. So he knew she wasn't going to come home, but it just wasn't true. It just John Kramer said he saw me smoking, and that's all. That's all it took. Was one guy that couldn't even tell you when he saw Emily the day he saw her. He always like, we've been through this, right? I mean, John Kramer, he was the last person to see her alive on Monday, so they told him that, and they're like, "Are you sure? Do you saw her on Monday?" He's like, because that would leave you being the last person to see her alive, and so he changed his story. Changed his fucking story.
Well, like the change now.
He changed the story after Tuesday because they came out on Tuesday with a press briefing saying that she was last seen on Monday. So it was after that. Literally, this dude got the case Tuesday and started putting a case on me. And one of the first things he had to do, even though they released the press briefing on Wednesday, was to get me to be the last person to see her alive. So that's when John Kramer changed his story. He didn't change his story Monday. He changed his story when Grubbs got the case and went and interviewed him. And Grubbs got him to change his story. It's obvious. It's super obvious.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, so it's all strange. Anyway, right. Let's see the rest of this.
Sorry, it's a lot of information. I'm sorry. I just want people to realize what this is. The man is so dumb that he's literally up there testifying that Emily was a smoker. She's a vapor. My attorney also proves it later on with medical records that she used to be like a cigarette smoker. So the cigarette, the cigarette, that's not direct evidence anyway. It's not, doesn't mean anything. It's stupid. It's circumstantial garbage, and it's not even true. So
no, I think it's good that you carry on. It's just more of a, as I say, we're not just picking up what you're just saying, but like I'm picking up other stuff now about. It makes a lot more sense in the sense of him. It doesn't make sense to me. Why do you leave information out for the redirect? You cover everything in direct, and it ties into all the lies that he is making about smoking.
Right.
You planted stuff.
Would you forget? You forget to mention that you think that Matt put this here for effect. You forgot to mention that in direct. You know, no. This guy, he's not. They're not that bright. They're just not that bright people.
No.
And Diane was super smart. I mean, she's just like biting at the bit to get it back at him for what he's saying now. I mean, everything that he would say, she would be like, "Oh," she'd write it down. I mean, she had all the angles down because she had an innocent man. She was representing an innocent man. So it was nothing for her to do what she did. It was so easy.
Yeah. Okay, let's slam up a little bit of this now then. Just to see, we're not going to finish this today. I'm not rushing this. I think this is quite interesting. There's about an hour worth of testimony left here, but we'll break it down to about half an hour, and we'll finish off next week then.
Cool.
Because it is. I know we're talking alarm some people. I know Chat's talking about other stuff.
Detective.
This is important. Yeah.
I was talking about. He just got the case the day before. Now he's got a warrant, and he's going through my home looking for blood. Which he doesn't find any. No, he doesn't find any evidence of foul play at the condo. Maybe you should start asking questions about something. Focus your attention on something else. No, he never did. He just pedaled to the metal on me right from the get-go because he's not.
Did they ever ask you though about the e-cigarettes and stuff?
He ever asked me? Absolutely not.
Anybody? Do you mean?
No. I don't remember. Go ahead. Yes.
Did your neighbor Kramer? Did he know that Emily smoked e-cigarettes?
obviously, I don't know, but
No, that's fine. It's fine. You didn't know.
he's right in saying that Emily most likely would never have allowed anybody to smoke in the condo. I mean, that was definitely a rule, but there was no smoking going on at the condo on Monday. And there wasn't Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. There wasn't any
No.
smoking in the condo. My brother got there Friday. He was a smoker. He smoked outside. I started bumming cigarettes from him while he was there for the 11 days searching for me. And then when he left, I started smoking, man. I had been a smoker when I was like younger. I quit like 15 years before. So next thing you know what I mean? It's 3 weeks. I started smoking. I started smoking. And it was 3 weeks later. So it's way different than smoking on that Monday. But they put it, hey, he was smoking Monday. No, he wasn't. If I was smoking on Monday, they would have just paraded people up there, because that would have been heavy evidence. That would have been, he knew she wasn't coming home, so she was smoking.
But that's what I mean. Because how do they know that this was even Emily's e-cigarette?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I have no idea.
But
She wasn't a smoker, and she had one in her pocket, I think, and there was one on the ground. I only thought that there was one, but it's not evidence. It doesn't mean anything. It's literally, why are they talking about it? Because they're not smart. It's like filler. Literally, it's filler. There's like a prop witness. We all know what a prop witness is, right? I would say 98% of their witnesses, or whatever it is you want a percentage you want to put on, were prop witnesses. They just put them up there just to take up time. They had no case. And they told my lawyer, Grubbs told Diane pre-trial that he knew he didn't have a case, and he knew he was going to lose. That's telling, man. That's telling. I've got Diane on a podcast in an interview saying that Grubbs told her that he knew that she was going to destroy them, and they were laughing about it, literally joking about it. I mean, that shows you that they're all on the same team, defense attorneys and prosecutors, and it's not about justice, man. It's about money. It's about.
It shows you that. It shows you as well that we spoke about this before, but the prosecution, in the sense of, if the lead detective's saying, laughing and joking about it, well, that doesn't say much about the prosecution team as well. That they took this on and took it forward and wasted taxpayers' money to do this. It just baffling.
It's the money. They're overfunded. They have no murder in that. I mean, there is, I guess, Delaware County has, I mean, occasionally a murder here or there, but they're overfunded, and they're always looking for crime. They're like, just like a plumber's looking for a leaky sink, whatever. They want crime. So that's, I mean, this guy, I mean, there should have been someone there to stop him. You would think, hey, we need evidence. You can't just do this. Yes, you can. Absolutely. You don't need evidence anymore. And this, I don't know if they ever did, but you don't need evidence to bring someone to trial, because you can get a grand jury to, we all know how easy it is to get a grand jury, to get indicted by a grand jury. It's easy because there's no one there to stick up for you. So, and it's a thing that they could just keep working on. Sometimes it takes 2-3 weeks for a grand jury to finally agree to let you go arrest someone, because they keep bringing in evidence every day. They keep working on it as they come. It's not like a 1-day thing, 2-day thing. It's a process. Grand juries, it's a scam. And then once they get a grand jury to indict you, they are free from any civil litigation. So the money's just, they're done. It's over. They've got their case. Who cares if we lose? We know we're going to lose, Diane. You're going to crush us. Isn't this great? Isn't this wonderful? As you get paid all the money that Matt has in the bank, and we get to, do our thing in government. It's I don't know if you can believe that, but once you're in it's as plain as day. It happens to you.
But what I would say, though, my only pushback to that is, right, if you like, it's easy enough for us to say all this now, and I don't mean to belittle that fact, but what worries me is, right, we're looking at this from a point that you had Diane Minaj. What happens if you had a public defender?
Then the weak ass, shitty ass evidence that they don't ever connect the dots. What they're doing is they're literally just inundating the jury with evidence. They call it throwing everything on the wall and see what sticks. They never connect any dots. And if you don't have a lawyer there to explain that to the jurors, sometimes it works. Mighty Meat talked about it. They just, I mean, sometimes it overwhelms jurors. It's a tactic by
it is.
district
It
attorneys
is.
to get convictions so they just keep bringing up evidence, keep 5 days, 6 days. These experts just keep talking and talking, but nothing's ever made sense. They don't have to. It's just meaningless garbage. It doesn't mean anything.
Agree.
And sometimes it confuses jurors, and they're like, you know what? I can't. I just want to go home. You know, I've been here for 10 days. I mean, the cops are cool. These guys are all right. This guy's guilty. Fuck him. You know, he was.
No,
I mean, he was smoking in the garage. He was smoking in the condo. Who would do that? What an asshole! It works.
Hey,
You
Carol.
know? I don't know.
Carol,
what's
I
up,
think
girl?
my point I'm trying to make here a little bit on it is it a fact that Diane was so good to be able to highlight all this? Like, so if you didn't have that, would all this have come out? Do you know what I mean? In the sense of, because you make it sound so easy, she makes it sound so easy and clear.
Right.
But if you don't have the right attorney,
watch other trials. I mean,
it is, and that's what I mean. That's what I mean. How there's other trials similar to this that's made full of bullshit.
They got really weak defense attorneys. They're horrible.
Yeah,
I've seen them.
They're not very good.
No,
they're not very good. Hi, Dave.
Hello.
Hey, Dr. Hines, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing? You all right?
Yeah.
Good. We're all good.
Nice to see you again. Nice to see you again, Dylan.
Hey.
I hope you're feeling well.
Do you know what? I'm feeling better. I'm still not 100%, but I wanted to get streaming. I appreciate that you could make it, because obviously I did cancel last night, and fair play, you came on today as well. So I do appreciate that, mate. You came in short notice. But yeah, no, I had 10 hours plus sleep last night, so I feel not 100%, but feel 80%, and the usual. Look at that for you.
Oh God.
Hey, Dr. Hines, let me ask you something. A question came up. Because you obviously have watched other trials, right? That's your thing. Do you think that I would have there was a chance of me getting convicted if I didn't have a lawyer of Diane's caliber?
Oh, without a doubt.
Really?
Without a doubt. Because
they get convictions with this type of crap?
Yeah, I mean, the only trial I can compare it to is Rittenhouse is similar to yours, but that wasn't obviously murder, so it's kind of a false equivalence.
Where they didn't have any evidence, right? They just didn't have any evidence against the guy, and they still get a conviction because the defense is so weak.
Okay, so so the recent trial that I covered was Jonathan Majors, and he got a guilty verdict on reckless assault, and all they had on him was the video camera of him picking her up into the vehicle and running away from her. So they deemed that as reckless assault, even though it's also harassment, but they deemed that as reckless assault. And the defense was arguing. I mean, there were so many things going for them. So it was a bad defense anyway. So it may add to your point that if you didn't have good representation, but
that's scary. That's scary
but
stuff.
for those that don't know, I mean, it was a misdemeanor trial, first and foremost, but misdemeanor assault, sorry. But the most important part was he could have pled self-defense. He didn't plead self-defense because she has testified that she went for the phone. Like, she admitted going for his property, all those things. It's not like he hit her to a pulp or anything like that. He all he did was, while she was standing next to him, he lifted her up into the car and was trying to keep her off him. Right. Yeah, and then running away after that. You can see her, and then even when they met again, and he was trying to send her home, she was still adamant. Hey, I want to see the phone. You're cheating on me. Going off the handle, bitch. Ripped off his coat. Basically,
let me ask you this. Let me interrupt you. Have you ever seen a murder trial where you're positive that they were like, they don't have any evidence against this guy, or the other way around, or there was like so much evidence, you're like, this guy's obviously guilty, but they find him, guilty or not guilty, the opposite way, what you call Have you ever
Well,
seen that? I mean,
well, outside of OJ,
No, that's a
OJ,
couple.
was he guilty? I don't even know. Is OJ guilty? I mean,
no, I mean the only case, and I didn't follow this one closely. This one was sporadic. I didn't follow this one closely. The only case I can think of is the Alex murder case, in which I
murder.
felt that I felt that
So-
one. I felt that one was just more of like, because he's done so many other bad stuff
Character
around his life.
assassination, right?
Yeah.
They
So,
just made him out to be a jerk.
but again, I
Right.
didn't watch the full thing. I just
Right.
watched the first 4 days, and I was like, this is boring. Like, you got this
Right.
guy here, you don't really have anything on him. I'm switching off. So I don't know what, because there was a tipping point in which so many things were playing in, and I just wasn't present for it. I was just tired of it, because in my opinion, the first 4 days I watched, I was like, so you don't have anything. Because
so you thought
to
you
me,
thought he was going to get found not guilty, and he didn't. He got convicted. So-
pretty much, because everything else was like, it was in my opinion, the first 4 days I saw, it wasn't enough for me to say, oh, that's really standard, reasonable doubt. All it was he done this bad stuff, but that was it.
yeah,
It
He
was
just felt
just
some
things
shot.
outside the case that
He
didn't
just
really
murdered-
matter.
Murdered his kid and he murdered his wife one day just for whatever. He just shot him in the face with a shotgun. It's like, okay, wasn't there people? I don't want to go into that trial anyway. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But you can definitely, because you got a shitty defense attorney, you can definitely get convicted because you have a shitty defense attorney.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, the case I've had, I propose is not the strongest case that but is the only case I can think of. I mean, there is another case that I did follow, is Diane Redlick, where she killed, and she was acquitted. So she killed her husband. She claimed that he was beating her, and she did have the evidence to prove her case. And she said, no, all of this was like reactionary. Like, she felt he was going to like beat her to the pulp, like he always does. So her reflex was to grab the knife and done. So even though the prosecution had evidence in term contrary to say, hey, you were on the phone, you were talking to other men before calling the police and all those things, like, she was acquitted mainly because of the fact that she was able to, well, the prosecution, sorry, not the prosecution, her defense was able to set up the case, and she was able to follow and be like, no, I did not actually intend to kill him. I was literally in fear of my life, and she proved it. She was like, she showed the previous times he had actually abused her and what would cause that fear and all those things. So that is the probably similar case to this that was that I would say is very it's very similar to yours, because she could have easily been sent away there.
I'm looking for a case that it went bad, like an innocent person got convicted or a guilty person got let go because they had shitty attorneys involved. That's what I'm looking for. If you ever, you know what I mean?
Okay, then Tory Lanez, you may not have heard of him. He's a rapper. The case was in regards to shooting his ex, the person that he was seeing at the time, in the leg. But there were evidence that could have been used to exonerate him. So basically the evidence was what was it? Put it this way, the way that the defense dropped the ball on it was, one, there was sealed communications that they managed to argue out, but because there was a sealed interview with it wasn't a suspect, but it was a key witness that was also there.
Did he get convicted, or I mean, what did they do to him?
Yeah, he got convicted for like 20. He's can I say, people believe he's innocent.
You think he's innocent? Was his defense attorney shitty?
Yeah, I mean, personally, if the video didn't come in, I think he would have been found innocent. But the video that came in showed the other witness that was there, telling everything that was basically happening. But in my opinion, and this is why I think, okay, there could be innocence in terms of who shot who, but in terms of the gun charges, because he was found innocent, he was always going to go to prison for that. But in terms of who shot who, and this is where it gets a bit muddled, because she, in my opinion, on the interview was and everything she was saying was, yeah, he was aiming this way, and then change
So it's
the
it's
story
your
immediately.
opinion that
Yeah.
there could have definitely been a chance of me being convicted if I didn't have Diane as a lawyer.
Yes. I mean, yeah. Like I don't doubt that, because the
Okay.
reason why I don't doubt it is because
I think Dylan thinks that too. I think he thinks that. I'm not sure.
I'm trying. Look, what I'm trying to say, I'm not sure if my mic's working, because what I'm trying to say
Yeah,
here
I got you.
what I'm trying to say is that it's hard because there's so many trials out there to pinpoint one trial, because there's so many bad. I don't think people realize how many bad lawyers there are out there. Do I think that possibly you could have been found guilty on this? Maybe you could have. I don't know. There's so many trials out there people have been found guilty. We don't know actually. If Diane Minaj was doing actually those trials, would they be found not guilty? Maybe they would have.
It's so sad. I feel so bad for people. I'm watching
100%.
that lady right now. Oh my god. I mean, she
And
needs Diane. She needs,
that's
and
why
this
I
woman,
mean, though, Matt.
she's got like a 25-year-old lawyer who's shaking. She's like nervous. I'm like, oh, Diane's so much better than this lady. You need Diane, man.
It's go on.
No. Finish off, then I'll add. Finish off. Sorry about that.
I can tell you, is Connie, juror number 8, told me that she didn't think that she said you probably didn't need Diane. She's like, their case was so weak that you probably could have just, which is something I didn't want to really hear because it cost me so much money. But are you going to take that chance? No one's going to take that chance. You know what I mean? There's no way. I mean, there's no other charge that's more harsh than what I was charged with. I mean, there was no way I was going to cheap out. I am cheap though too, so now I have to because I don't have any money.
I understand what the juror is trying to say there, but at the same time, I'm always in your position. I don't think you did the wrong thing by even going for Diane. I think Diane.
I thought I was
because
done.
that's what jurors.
I thought they had evidence against me, bro. I was like, I'm screwed. I thought I was going to prison.
I mean, that's prudent. Like, you're meant to think like that. You're meant to think of the worst case scenario, and then
money is not even in the equation, man. You're just like, give me the best lawyer you can, and literally it happened. It was so it just happened. It was like God sent that woman. Thank you.
Right. I was. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I think my mic's cutting out. My mic's cutting out, guys. So maybe I
can hear you.
I think
I can hear you.
No, that's fine. But I've been kicked off a few times because of my mic. But anyway, the only thing I can't say on it is Diane. She brought up so many inconsistencies that I don't think every city does that. So when the juries are saying, "Oh, you would have found you not guilty," whatever. I don't think they know what bad defense attorneys look like. We see it all the time. Dr. Hines can say the same. She was able to explain like the laces, how she tied the laces, how you do stuff.
The t-shirt.
Small key.
Remember last week with the t-shirt deal?
Yes.
The t-shirt, yeah.
I'm not
I don't think
kidding
a regular attorney would
other
have found
attorneys don't pick that up.
Right.
Other attorneys don't pick that up.
Right. And don't forget, she's speaking from the fact that she has seen the evidence that Diana's laid out. So she can so though she may reasonably conclude, oh, okay, cool. Like you didn't really need Diane for this, type of case. Other jurors may not think that. Other jurors may have been swayed by Diane. That's one thing. But also another thing is like, let's say that you did even get someone else. Like the case that they had against you didn't need. I mean, some jurors believe the fact that the prosecution even made it this far means that they
Right.
have some credible case.
Right.
So
That's right.
they
Agreed.
like I said, the fact
Yep.
that they would bring up things like the
Look
window
at all the
that you
money
had.
they spent. Look at all the time they spent
Right,
on this guy. He's
right,
obviously guilty. Cops don't
right,
lie.
right,
Why would they
right.
spend?
But
Why
like,
would they bring up all this bullshit and not be able and look so
right,
stupid? We're missing something. We're just not connecting the dots. And if you
right,
don't have
right.
but Diane was so good that she
That
literally didn't
yeah,
let anything past her. She knew all the dates, all the names. She addressed everything that they brought up. Everything they brought up was nonsense, but she addressed everything. She didn't miss anything because
Mark,
it was
this is
yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
so right. My thing on this, right, is, and I do want to bring this up, but good example to you is Zach, right? If Zach
Right.
has Diane, Zach is not in prison right now. I truly,
Really?
truly believe that with
Yeah.
all my
He had a bad
because
lawyer.
the reason is right.
yeah,
Everything that she picked out on your trial, the shoes, the laces, the
Right.
t-shirt, literally, I think we dismiss it as little things. They're huge things that put doubt
Yeah.
in the jury's
right.
mind. There's no
Yeah.
way on earth I can preach this that Diane lets that jury think there's any kind of DNA or any kind of blood in
Right.
that van, where there's a small speck that could have got there in any way. The
Right.
jury, obviously, in their minds, still, and also people in the public still think there was a lot of blood and stuff
Right.
in that
There
van.
wasn't any blood.
People still think
Right.
that he bought a can of sardines to mask the smell
Right.
of
Oh my
the
God.
body. People
Which
genuinely
is
believe that.
nonsense evidence.
It should
That's
be vinegar,
complete
but sure.
nonsense.
I mean, your mouth smells with
Diane
vinegar,
would have
but sure.
covered that. Yeah, Diane would have covered these things, and this
Right.
is why I'm saying that the little things like the can of sardines, we can, whatever, but it's so important that I
Yeah.
don't think that other attorneys would have picked up on stuff like the laces and all this, the minute stuff from
Right.
your trial.
And
I
she
don't
didn't.
think they
She
picked that
didn't.
up.
She didn't win. She didn't slack on anything. She literally.
No,
They knew that they were. I mean, I told you they agreed before trial that Diane was going to annihilate them. But she never let up once. She addressed everything that they said.
yeah,
She had something to say. No, that's not right. This is the way it is. She literally. I mean, I still feel so sorry for Zach. He didn't have money, or I don't know what was the situation. Was she a
oh,
court appointed
he had
attorney?
lawyers. He obviously had attorneys. And in the moment, if I'm being honest, I thought they did a good job in the moment. But there's literally people in my chat afterwards, and there's people I spoke with afterwards that genuinely still think there's a load of blood in there. That he went
Right.
into a store and bought loads of Dettol, bleach and stuff. Well, actually, it was a packet. So
Right.
because we were in the middle of COVID, the
His
mess in
brother
the
did
van.
really well last week. Talked
Yeah,
about all that.
yeah, he
Really
did. He did, and he's explained a lot of this stuff to people.
Mm.
But there's jurors and also members of the public that are left still thinking that Zach did it because of
Right.
a can of sardines,
Right.
no body, but it didn't matter to them. They never investigated any of the dump sites. But these are things that I genuinely believe that Diane would have bashed
Right.
and said, reasonable doubt. Why did he do this?
Right.
Why did he not do this? Why didn't they never questioned any of that stuff? Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
So, I think the DA walked all over them. Diane, there's no way in the world Diane would have let that DA walk all over her. She would have walked all over him. And I know that I might be sounding a bit angry, but it's those small
Right.
things that there could be another innocent man out of jail or a prison right now. And that's why I don't want to belittle how well she did. I genuinely worry that if you just had a normal public defender, that
Right. That I
half
might
of
have
this
lost.
Yeah, you
we
would have
wouldn't be
gone out.
talking to you right now,
Would
mate.
have gone
I don't think
sideways.
we'd
Yeah,
be talking
I
to
agree
you.
with that.
Um,
I agree with that.
and not because I think that any different, just it's that minute detail that a fucking great attorney gets into that public defenders don't. And it scares me how many people are actually in prison right now because they couldn't afford to have a proper lawyer on their
Yeah.
side.
Listen to this detail. Because we've already talked about the smoking. What she did is there was 30,000 pages of discovery. Now you can do the searches. It's not like you're flipping through pages, but there was more discovery in my case than my primary attorney, Court Gatterdam, had ever been a part of. They inundated my attorneys with garbage. She went in and found, when it came to the smoking, Hickman, who was the coroner that didn't do the autopsy, but he was the one that he's the only one that could come up with the cause of death. So he was waiting. He's just an inexperienced pediatrician of some sort, just a regular doctor. He's not he's not an investigator, right? But he had to investigate, and part of his investigation was that he got all of Emily's health records from her whole life, or as long as back as they could get them. Diane went into Emily's health records and found, like, 15 years ago, where they ask you if you're a smoker or not, and she checked yes, because she was a smoker back then. You know what I mean? And that's the detail. And you're sitting there, and why are they making a big deal about this smoking thing? And they're like, Emily was a smoker, and my attorney just proved it. You know what I mean? That's what you're talking about, those little details. No one even noticed that, but I did. I was like, yeah, right there. Totally. That just proves it, right? Proves the point that the smoking wasn't a big deal. So yeah, she was that good of an attorney. She was that good. And yeah, you're probably not going to get that now.
I do want to take into a negative point about you're obviously free. Thank fuck you're free and everything, and you know, it's great. It is scary for me to think. Well, I think for all of us to think. I generally think the public defender, we might be looking at a different outcome, and we might not be interviewing you right now, because of the influence. Like, if he can lie like this,
right,
in front of Diane, and she picks it up. Imagine if there was a public defender there that can't pick up all these things.
And when Dylan says this man lies, he went into our text messages and he counted the amount of times we said love between when she first got her phone, which is in November, up until April, which was 2 months prior to her going missing. And I don't know how many times, it was like 100 times. We were using the word love all the time. Love this, I love you, love. And all of a sudden it stopped. Whoa. And they didn't ever, how many times they used the word love between April and when she went missing? 0. You know what I mean? That's evidence to you that it's a troubled marriage. There's something going on, right? Emily started working from home. We stopped texting. He knew that. He's lying to the jury. He's trying to get you know, and that's not very difficult to understand. We've already been through this. That's what they do. They lie. It's not really a lie. He's not like lying about the amount of times that the word love got used and it did stop. But the rationale behind it stopping wasn't because we had a bad marriage. It was because we stopped texting completely because she started working from home. He knows that. He's lying. That's a lie.
Yeah.
You know, that's what cops do. That's how dirty these fucking guys are. And he didn't think my attorney was gonna find that. I mean, of course she found that. Of course she knew that. She's that good. She's like, you do know that she was working from home, you know? And it was just, the jury's just like, I mean, it's not, it wasn't even close. She outmatched them. She and her Allie was her assistant, so it wasn't just Diane, it was her assistant too. But they had 3 attorneys and the lead detective over there the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And she steamrolled them. She's just better caliber lawyer. I mean, and she didn't have to lie. They were lying. You know what I mean? So it was nothing for her to figure all that stuff out. And that was another piece of evidence. I don't know if you guys remember that. There's other stuff too that
so many.
The cord's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They made it sound like I took the cord off the hook, put it on the cooler, and then said, "Hey, look, it moved, or this doesn't belong here." That's not true. They're lying. That cord was on the cooler the whole time, and Diane proved it. And I'm telling you, she figured that out on the fly. I watched her figure that out. I'm telling you, man.
I agree.
I was like, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna prove that I didn't do that? Because that's awful. If they can prove that I took that off the hook and put it down there, and now I'm moving things, she's like, I got it. Don't worry about it. She's, you know what I mean? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I think they're fucking lying. They're lying. So she figured it out. Yeah.
Listen, I think that's the point we're making, and I think Charter said, "Oh, yeah, but Matt's free." But yeah, brilliant. Matt's free. We appreciate you for that. I think the point I'm trying to make, and I think what we're trying to discuss here, is how fine lines work
Right.
between guilty and not guilty. Sorry, Dr. Hines, go on.
No, it's just to add on to your point, because what Diane is like, from watching her, defend here, to be this meticulous, it's not easy. Like great lawyers are this meticulous, but not many people work that hard, if that makes sense.
Right.
So
Makes perfect sense.
that has to be noted out. So if you did get a public defendant, they could, especially, they could be smart. They could be as smart as Diane, even or even smarter. But if there's no motivation or incentive for him to even dig in a little bit to find all these little details, that's your case gone. Because end of the day, they can even send you to prison for a lack of an adequate defense. Like, when I say lack of an adequate defense, I mean your defense is literally not.
I've been thinking about this
their
case
job, basically.
for. I mean, this is all I've been. I mean, I do this all the time. This is, and it was my life. It was my life. She knows my case better than I do now, and she hasn't even thought about it for a year and whatever. And I guarantee she knows more about my case than I do. I'm telling you, she literally memorized my entire case.
Right.
All of it.
Right.
All of it. So, I mean, you have to be brilliant. You have to be smart.
Yeah.
That's it. You have to. And if you get a dummy lawyer, you're done.
And it's not even dummy lawyer. It's more like inexperienced, or someone like Diane's. Obviously, she's a terrier. She doesn't let go. Like, no one's going to walk all over her. But there's so many defense attorneys that will let people walk all over you. And I think that's the point. It's hard to find a case that's similar to yours in some ways. I only reference that because that's fresh in my mind. But they're literally fine margins. I think if you put a Diane Minaj into every one of these, there might be some of them are obviously guilty. Don't get me wrong. There will be some
that's mostly what she's dealing with, is guilty people, and that's what she's dealing with. She says that she's like, most of the times I have evidence to attack. There's no evidence here. The one thing that she did really well, and when she got down, they're talking about the neck injuries, and she's like, well, I mean, what's not in the data there, Mr. Schmock and Dr. Schmock and all you people, is the fact that she was out there hanging from her neck for 4 months. As maybe those injuries happened then. How would we know? And then the way she got like down on her knees and with her hair, she like played like she was Emily, and she like pulled her neck up, and she was like an actress. And it was just brilliant. It was like, you don't think that maybe, and then she acted out being hung like in the woods for 4 months. It was just, and you can't ask for a better attorney. You just couldn't. I can't see it. Is Johnny Cochran? I didn't watch the OJ trial. Was Johnny Cochran that good? Because I hear Johnny Cochran was pretty good.
I didn't watch it, so
actually, I think he just knew how to argue. I don't think he was because he didn't present.
Was he as good as Diane?
No, I think he just knew how to argue. I think he knew how what to play to the juries or anything like that, because I don't think he brought out a lot of these evidence to support OJ. But I think he brought up points to send to the jury why the police may be corrupt and targeting OJ.
Let's just say that she is the Johnny Cochran of Central Ohio. Let's just say that. Can we say that?
Yeah.
Diamond Edge is that Johnny Cochran.
Yeah, you can say that.
We can say that. God bless to her anyway. But I know that might, for some people, think that we're talking negatively or whatever. But it's important to discuss this. I mean, it's a fine line between cases. So obviously,
I got beef with Diamond Edge. I'm not done with this. But
I know we'll discuss that at the end. We're going to discuss that at the end, so it's fine. I mean, we're only talking about her work here now on. I think she's doing a fantastic job here, but yeah, we'll discuss that at the end. Josie Bowes, good defense lawyer. Casey Anthony, love that. Yeah, there we are.
She's partners with that dude, I guess, right? I mean, they work together.
Yeah, something together. Again, comes to a great attorney. Do you know what I mean? It's not to be underestimated. Do you know what I mean? So, Mexi Texi, hi. Definitely what any good defense attorney would do. Can't hate on his work. Exactly. Anyway, as I say, we just gone in the dark hole here. Not trying to be
Sorry.
depressive hole on it.
Yeah, sorry
No,
about you.
it's I'm
Trial
not.
watch.
Don't you apologize.
We
We're
got
here.
to
I'm
about
just
3 minutes of trial today.
yeah. I'm talking to the chat. I mean, they're not here to be able to listen to this. And I get the point that people say that you're free, Matt. So who cares? But or not who cares, but you're
What do you
free.
mean,
So
who
it doesn't really
cares?
matter. No, it
They
doesn't
robbed
matter
me.
anymore. You're
I
free.
know what you're saying,
Yeah.
dude. I see it. Look
No.
at Grubsy. Can I make fun of him? Look at his fat face.
Yeah,
Look at
I
his
know.
fucking head. What a big dummy. Nice haircut, Grubs. Yeah, they all get their haircut the same
Right.
place. I don't get it.
Let's listen to a little bit more of this then.
All right,
Because you're
I
right.
love
We only
listening
watched
to
3
this
minutes.
bonehead talk.
Yes, it was.
No, it doesn't work.
There are two separate e-cigarettes we're talking about. One located on the scene, one that was in her pocket.
Yes, sir.
Detective, you were asked questions about the body farm.
Technical difficulties. Fuck
Sorry.
me. Right. I can't hear anything. Can you even hear anything?
I can hear it.
Okay. I can't hear it. So as long as you guys can hear it, I can't hear
They're
it.
talking about the Tennessee body farm. I got it.
I don't know. Let me just okay. I'll keep playing. I'll try and adjust my.
Yes, sir, I do.
And what was your understanding of their conclusion?
Oh, I was thinking of him.
That
I was thinking of him,
based on the scene photographs that they examined, that the scene was consistent with a body that had been out in the elements for an extended length of time.
Wow.
Like that.
Amazing. That's great work, Grubs.
And were they able to offer you an opinion as to whether the body had decomposed in that area of the woods?
Objection, Your Honor. Sustained.
Ooh, sustained.
Did the
Bam.
opinion from the body farm change your investigation?
Fuck no.
No.
Why not?
I think if anything, it just reaffirmed the fact that we were still looking at that scene itself, and she had been there for an extended period of time.
Brilliant, Grubs.
Just to make sure I understand. So you say when she was there for a period of time, it was not your understanding that you're dealing with a situation in which a body decomposed elsewhere and then was moved into those woods.
Correct.
And so,
Yeah, but they didn't tell you
What kind
that.
of
That's
things,
not what the body farm told him. They
are
didn't
you
tell him
aware
that
of
they
as
didn't
being
give a
part
date.
of
Just let it go. It's fine.
sensory observations with a body that's decomposed?
What things was I aware of?
Yeah, as a body decomposes, what?
How the fuck would he know?
I think you need to do a little more foundation.
Based on your training experience,
Mhm.
are you familiar with bodies decomposing generally?
No,
Yes.
it's just, no, he doesn't.
What
He's just-
types of
he's not-
things occur with a body that's decomposing?
Release of fluids. Animals sometimes can scavenge the body. Bugs, insects can all come along, and the body will essentially deteriorate almost down to nothing. It becomes almost like a mummified version of itself.
Is there a smell associated with that process?
Yes.
Based on what you received from the body farm, the body decomposed in that location.
Absolutely.
Objection, Your Honor. Sustained. A jury will disregard the answer given by
Wow.
the witness and not use it in your deliberations. Next question.
Based on what the body farm told you, did you assign any significance to the fact nobody had smelled anything out there?
I think the most significant thing with that was the fact that I was surprised that no one had, based on people walking the sidewalk, cadaver dogs, essentially, stuff like that was probably the biggest takeaway I got from that.
Well, maybe she wasn't there, Grubs. Did you ever think of that? If the body farm couldn't tell you when she got in there, and they couldn't give a date. They had no idea when she was. Maybe she wasn't there. Grubs. Maybe someone. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even look into it. You know why? Because they knew I didn't. Because they were all over me. They were all over me. You know, I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have waited 5 days, 10 days, a month, and then bring her in there. That was being surveilled. You know what I mean? Does that you guys understand that?
I can't even hear him, so I don't know what's going on.
Oh, all right. Well, I hope everybody out there heard me. It Grubs.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you couldn't
I
hear
can't
him.
hear the stream. I can't hear the stream.
Oh, you can't hear the stream. Oh, I'm sorry, dude.
No.
Well, maybe we should just cut it off for the week then. We need you, man. You got to be part of this. Yeah, Grubs just said that they asked them what was the biggest thing about them not smelling her. I mean, did the body farm say anything about why they thought she wasn't detected? And he's like, yeah, it was just very surprising to me that there was people all over the place and no one smelled her. But my thing to him is that maybe she wasn't there. Maybe she was, you know what I mean? When the dogs went past her and the people went past her, maybe she wasn't there. Because that would fuck their case all up if she wasn't there. That would mean someone else besides me did that to her. And I'm not saying that that's what happened. They're just buffoons. They're incompetent. Those dogs don't work. Those cops, they didn't care. I literally brought them not right to the spot, but around the woods on Tuesday. And I'm like, are you going to go in there and look? They're like, yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm like, do you want to look anywhere else? I mean, she goes other places. And they're like, no, this is it. This is all we want you to bring us to. I mean, I don't know how much a worse job. He couldn't have done a worse job being a cop. He shouldn't be a cop. This guy's awful. I was just surprised. I mean, I was so surprised you couldn't smell her. Well, maybe she wasn't in there, dude. I don't figure it out. Figure it out, Grubs. He didn't even bother. Didn't give a fuck. I don't know if those are points that are interesting to you, but
it's good. I just frustrated. I can't hear I can hear you, but I can't hear them. So I don't know what we're discussing right now.
All right, yeah. I mean, I think I made my point. It's cool. I think if you guys have been watching this thing for as long as we have now, you can kind of tell. I mean, this one person is saying, "Oh, we're just hearing Matt's side of things." Hey, listen to them. Listen to this man. Just listen to him. You can make up your own opinion about what this guy's talking about. I mean, listen to what he's saying. He's literally testifying for me that he fucked this thing all up. Yeah. I just thought it was strange. I mean, I don't know why we couldn't smell her. Well, maybe she wasn't there.
Maybe. I don't know. Exactly. Okay, this has been a strange stream, but I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, thanks. I mean, I love talking. I love getting on here and like it was over 2 years of me being portrayed as a child killer, a wife killer, and everybody thought I was guilty, dude. Everyone thought I was guilty, and now I got a chance to sit every Saturday and come on here and talk. It's like it's my turn, you know, to get my name back. So I really appreciate it, man.
It's it's the Matt Moore Saturdays, mate. So
Matt Moore
I love it, and I love this. I just speaking and stuff. I just enjoy it as some of my members know, Aaron Hack. So yeah, fine, Matt. Thank you, buddy. I will see you next week then. All right.
All right, guys. Peace. Next week.
See you next week,
buddy.
All right, guys.
All right, mate. Catch up. So what we got is wrongfulpod.com. Catch.
All right.
So
yeah, definitely gonna
watch that. So basically, it's these 4 wonderful women who have put a lot of time and effort into the Zachariah cause. I genuinely think that it's the best place for you to do it. I think that you're gonna watching the trial is fine and everything, but they break it all down for you. And you've got the website as well, the free Zachariah Anderson. Actually, what the fuck is the website? I'm sure Josie will put it in. The website. So all the evidence is there. So you can link there and look at stuff for evidence. What wasn't put in, what was put in. they discuss it and basically breaks down. Now,
Right.
I'm not saying you shouldn't be watching the trial because obviously do, but it'll give you a great insight. I think it's 6 episodes, and it generally does give you a really good insight of. And I don't believe it's biased either. They do showcase, some things. Solwa says that, Zach's not an angel either. There's some things that he should have done differently. But I generally do think they should go there. There's this woman who's got beautiful voice narrating it. Such a lovely, wonderful
Would her
voice.
name start with J? Would her name start
It
with
does,
J?
Jay.
It does.
Which
start with
I was surprised when I heard it was Josie. I would say that I heard that was Josie, but she's got a wonderful voice. I'm not even kidding you. But you go on the wrongfulpod.com. You can choose whether you want to watch it on YouTube. Now, there's some episodes that's worth watching on YouTube because they show stuff, but you can choose whichever platform you want. So for
Right.
anybody who hasn't listened to that much as Zachariah Anderson's case, genuinely the place to go. And I know that I always fucking talk about it, but I don't discuss things that often. I don't push stuff unless I believe in it. And I believe in the wrongfulpod.com. I just generally believe that if you are new to this case, you really need to go and listen to that because it gives you foundation. So when you do actually watch the trial, there's a lot of,
Right.
oh yeah, this is what they said. Oh yeah, this is highlighted. So do that, mate, is what I would say for you to do. But anyway, that's me no longer ranting towards you. How are you, buddy? What you got going on?
I'm fine. I'm just finishing off my transcript reading of Jonathan Major's case that I've been covering, and releasing the final part of Deb v. Heard. Sad to see it come to an end. Such a big project that really has stepped me aback, because when Matt asked me the question, I was like, shoot, I haven't been following trials for a while, so I best impress here, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, but it's really attracted me. I'm releasing all the interviews, that I done for the docuseries on my channel. That's pretty much all through this week and next week, and then I'm gonna release after it's phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 of interviews. After that, part 3 would drop, will be released, and then I'm going to release all the other interviews. But yeah, busy week ahead, and I can't wait. I just can't wait, because I can't wait to go back to watching trials again, not just covering that we heard. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just, when something has consumed you for like a year, and it's it'll be nice to have some life back, then go back to it at some point and revisit it, see what what I mean. But right now, can't wait to get back into trials. I love the fact that you invite me on here to at least watch this trial, because it's a good break, I'm trying to say, like, from the routine. It's a great break. So I appreciate you for inviting me on, and asking me questions, and like having these discussions. I really do appreciate it.
No, it's fine. Hey, and you were to say my child, as Jonathan says, the best BBC out there. So
Jono.
Jonathan loves it. Where else do you get that kind of a treatment, Heinzie? Do you know what I mean? You come on here and you got Jonathan welcoming you with those kind of comments. I mean, you don't get that everywhere else.
He welcomed me with open legs. He welcomed me with...
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So
yeah. Look, we'll end the stream there. Me, Heinz, we'll end it there, guys. I got another one. I got a stream coming on at 3 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock UK time. And we're just going to go through some Brian Kohlberger stuff on social media and the influence of it. A few videos to show for you guys. So if you're around and want to catch up, I'm not going into the whole case and stuff. I'm just going around the influence of social media and stuff like that. It's a bit of a rush job, but I'm putting it together as we speak. So yeah, if you fancy that, I'll be live. If not, I'll see some of you on Monday. But as always, thank you for your support, everybody. Lovely to see you, mate. Thanks for short notice coming on. But yeah, with that, the outro on, guys, as for you guys. And yeah, as always, free Zachariah Anderson. And thank you. Hopefully see some of you later. And with that, take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.